Hey guys, Mr. Theorist here, doing another Compare the Supernatural video. This week's one is Werewolves. Now, if you haven't seen my part 1 Vampire one, the way this series works is I've taken 4 shows, Being Human, Vampire Diaries, Buffy the Vampire Slayer and True Blood, and I'm comparing their supernatural creatures against the other shows to see which one is the best example of supernatural creatures. And the way I do the comparison is I take a creature each episode. So last week was vampires, and then I have 4 rules, because of the 4 shows, to see which of their version of vampires hits the most of those rules. And the one that does, wins the episode. Now, don't want to spoil who won last week's, so I'll leave a link in the description for my part 1 video, and I hope you enjoy. But this week, let's do Werewolves. Before I begin, I'd like to state that I won't be using True Blood in this episode because after doing research for the different rules, I found that True Blood didn't hit any of the rules I was creating for Werewolves. So I'm not going to have them in this episode, so unfortunately True Blood will not be winning this episode no matter what. So because of that, I'm having only 3 rules instead of the 4. So let's begin. Full moon. What do I mean by that? Well, it means that the person who has the werewolf gene can only transform on the full moon. No exceptions. And if there's no full moon, they don't transform. So, we'll go through the list and we'll see who does well in this episode. We'll start with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. In Buffy the Vampire Slayer, yes, they only transform on the full moon, but there is an episode in season 4 where Oz returns and he has developed the ability to control it when the full moon isn't out. So because of that, as much as I'd love to give it to you, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I'm not. So you don't get this. Being Human. Being Human, yes, they also have the thing where they only transform on the full moon. But, again, like Buffy, there is one episode where the main werewolf in the first 3 seasons, he looks at a picture of a full moon and he transforms, and that's not technically the proper full moon, that's only a picture. So I'm sorry, Being Human, I'm not letting you get away with that. And last of all, Vampire Diaries. Well, in Vampire Diaries, they only transform on the full moon. When there are hybrids, which is the vampire-werewolf hybrid, they can control when they transform, but they stop being werewolves at that point. So I'm allowing Vampire Diaries to have this round. Well done. You're the only one this round that gains 1 point. Okay, rule 2 is silver. What do I mean by this? I mean that silver bullets or silver stakes kill a werewolf no matter what. So we'll go through the list and see who wins this round. We'll start again with Buffy. So, in Buffy, yes, silver is stated to kill werewolves. They never actually do in the show because Buffy and the team, they tend to think of werewolves as they're inflicted. They're not actually demons, and they don't want to kill any humans that are simply inflicted with the werewolf curse. So no one dies, but it is stated in the first episode when we learn about werewolves in Buffy that yes, silver does kill werewolves. So Buffy the Vampire Slayer gains 1 point. Being Human. In Being Human, no. They do say that it's never confirmed whether it does or not, but because the show never actually states yes it does, I'm not going to give them the point. So Being Human, fortunately, is still on 0 points. And Vampire Diaries. Vampire Diaries, yes, it is stated that silver kills werewolves, and I believe they kill several werewolves with silver as well. There's one time where one of the main characters rips a werewolf's heart out and kills him. I'm going to allow that because werewolves are immortal creatures. So ripping out an eternal organ, that's going to kill any mortal being. So well done Vampire Diaries and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You both gain a point. Well done. Rule 3 is controlling the curse. What I mean by this is when you're a werewolf, it completely takes over you. You cannot control its actions. You can't kind of involving the full moon element as well, but yeah, there is absolutely no control. 1 minute you're human, full moon comes out, you're completely out of control. Either in some versions they are wolves, and other versions they are on 2 leg type of werewolves. Don't mind either way, but as long as they cannot control the werewolf itself. So we'll go through the list and we'll see what happens. Might as well keep the same what we've been going. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yes, in Buffy the Vampire Slayer they cannot control the curse. Except the one time, again in season 4, when Oz turns back up, to some degree he controls the werewolf because he stops it coming out. But when he gets really, really angry, it bursts out of him. But because magic is involved, I'm going to allow it, because unlike the full moon thing where it's like the full moon's out, no, I'm sorry, that's an original thing. This is magic that's kind of manipulating something that is magical. So, okay, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I'll allow it this time. Being human. Being human also cannot control a werewolf. As I said earlier with the full moon, there is the bit where he uses a picture of a full moon. But apart from that one time, because that does actually kill him. But apart from that one time, nope. They completely have lack of control over the werewolf. So being human also gains a point. And Vampire Diaries. Vampire Diaries has a full house this time because, yeah, also the Vampire Diaries, the werewolves are completely out of control. As I said before, when they are hybrids, I think they kind of gain a level of control because they don't fully transform into werewolves. But again, hybrids, not actual werewolves, so I'm not going to disallow it. So the Vampire Diaries also gained a point. So, as we can see, this week, the winners are Vampire Diaries. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment if there's any supernatural creatures you want me to compare in this series. And as always, guys, if you would, subscribe. Until next video, I'll see you later. Bye!